but they said that they're not satisfied with the way the current case law is. And two more pieces of
Before we
information.
move on that, okay, like I guess I don't know.
You,
If
if anyone's watching, I'm just getting things set up right now.
Yeah, okay, so maybe they.
But he sure did know enough to say.
Oh, let me go. I don't think Wick is banned.
Earlier that that loaner kind of weird.
Maybe they genuinely have a problem with the case law. It's fine. There's not that much case law for genocide. Second of all, though, they didn't call October 7th a genocide, and they also delayed the report until actually after the Israel one, specifically because they thought that if they did a report October 7th early, it would give ammunition to Israel to carry out attacks on Gaza, as in like they had a political reason for doing so. Third thing that they did was that when the Israel branch of Amnesty International, the one that actually sticks their neck out to fight with the Israeli government all the time in Israel about this war, who does think it's war crime, genocide, they were removed. Amnesty just ditched them. They ditched their Israel branch, even though this branch actually...
That's like the one branch that went against them, right? Like of all of them.
Yeah. So they've been there. They've been the branch that was also fighting with. Yeah. So those three acts, I think, are just like it just kind of sounds like you want to treat Israel a bit differently from other groups in other countries.
I'm not even unsympathetic to that as an idea. The second one, I can understand being like, hey, if we release this as fast as we do, this might cause them to be more genocidal. I don't know how you weigh that as this internal organization. Also, I don't know if October 7th in and of itself, I guess it's a genocidal act. Also, obviously, Hamas is like, we want to exterminate the Jews. I guess they removed that from the charter recently, but that means nothing to me. But like, is the act itself, like, did they try to do that? Or were they trying to, is it part of a greater genocidal intent? I don't know how you categorize these. Again, I'm not a genocide expert. For the third one, that could just as easily be like, well, you aren't meeting our standards or whatever. But then, regardless of all that, let's just take it all at face value. So, like, these people are biased against Israel. Amnesty International is. Then every other org is too. ICC and Human Rights Watch, like they're all like the same amount. Like that's what I find very hard to believe.
The UN Commission of Inquiry for the one that does like most of the highest profile legal assessments in Israel is chaired by three people. One of them went on a podcast and complained about what he literally quoting Jewish control of social media. And the other two chairs defended him.
Do they control it?
For saying that this wasn't an issue. Like they want to complain that people are just throwing around anti-Semitism claims like it's throwing rice at a wedding or something. Yeah. Okay. One more question. In 2022 or 21 or even pre-October 7th, there's been kind of this trend where the UN General Assembly will table resolutions against particular countries for human rights abuse. They'll do like North Korea, Iran, China. Israel has this trend of getting more resolutions against them than every other country. Even on the year that Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022, Israel still gets more UN resolutions against them by far.
I think I got all my shit straightforward.
What does that make you
feel? Obviously, so the problem with all of these things you're bringing up is all of these things could indicate what you're pointing to, which is like maybe there's undue bias against Israel. I would have to look more into this, but to me, I would have to now have this complete set of like debunking, counterfactuals to every single org that is calling this out. I'm still a little incredulous that like literally every org is like, tell me if this is wrong. Is the claim that all of these orgs are so biased against Israel that they're basically lying because they?
No, I don't think they're. So there's like two explanations. One is that because of the way that Hamas have operated, controlled Gaza for the last 17 years, they have just. It's actually kind of astonishing. Just like if you look at Hamas's behavior, they understand human rights orgs very well as well, and they actually the human rights orgs, all of them have to work with Hamas just so they can function to distribute aid and things like that. So I think Hamas have like very well manipulated the situation in Gaza, and they can the situation well enough. Citizens say and everything else. They know how these orgs work. They know what they can get away with, and they know.
I am watching the soy pill debate
around them, or like what buildings they need to be in,
I'm listening to it.
Look worse when they get bombed and all that. They know it's perfidy. They do that all the time. They understand how that works, and even if you are approaching it in completely good faith, they can still basically influence the situation to make it look like it's just civilians dying.
Yo, can you link where the stream is? Because I'm not seeing on Wix at all.
Against Splinterbox, I don't care what his argument is. Whatever his argument is, I'm completely 100. I think he's a genocide supporter. This mic is genocide.
For a group like Hamas to just withhold your losses, just make sure that no one says anything, to make sure there's enough of a repression.
Just to be clear,
yeah, they can. That's one
explanation. Cutting out sometimes. I don't know what it is.
Okay, I thought it was just me.
No, but also like every 20 words, they'll cut out one word, right?
Right.
Can I add one thing to that real quick?
Yeah, he's offline right now.
Then Soypill gets a chance to respond. And Soypill, I want you to like, are you gonna look into this stuff, right? Because this is good information. Right?
Someone could give me like a Google Doc on it, but again, this is like this smells like conspiracy. Just do that.
The other thing is as well, when we talk about conspiracy, so that first one was me talking about how Hamas can actually like mess up reports like this and influence them, even if every human rights worker is being completely good faith. We know this happened, by the way. Saddam Hussein did this in Iraq during the sanction regime after the Kuwait War. We know that Saddam Hussein and his regime influenced people to give false information to aid workers who were trying to assess the effect of the sanctions, and it got people to conclude with a few bad interviews with a few people who were intimidated by the government to make it look like there was a famine happening in Iraq that killed over 500,000 people. UNICEF said this, and when the human rights orgs actually finally got access to Iraqi documents after the war in 2003, they knew it turned out that it was false. It turned out the life expectancy hadn't actually all that. But then they didn't say we were wrong in the past. They just changed their data. So right now, when you look at UNICEF, which was the main organization that pushed it, their life expectancy graph for Iraq is just 90s. It just goes up normally like any other country. But yes, Saddam Hussein and his regime in Iraq managed to convince the entire world of human rights orgs that there was a famine that killed 500,000 people, and it lasted for almost like a decade. And this is no one disputes this. No one disputes that this happened. But yeah, for some reason, like even your chat, like it's really funny. They have nothing. They don't know how to respond to this. But yeah, I don't know. Here's what it is.
Well, my response would be like, is it possible to fool literally every independent human rights organization if what you're claiming is true? Maybe, apparently.
Okay. Yeah, this is one of the things I'm going to talk about is be like, yo, how the fuck do you like learn any of this shit, bro? Okay. Oh, also recap on the Jesus and Whatnot debate that he had against Parker. Dude, that shit was cancer. That shit was so fucking cancer, bro. Like, like genuinely, Parker should have blown Jesus and Whatnot out. He needs to get like humiliated, like ASAP. And I don't think I'm good enough at philosophy to do it. But there are other people who I think are better equipped to debate people like him. Well, actually, wait, what the fuck am I saying? What am I saying? He's just like, he's literally like peak Dunning-Kruger right now because he gives off like this confident vibe, and that's what's making me kind of like, oh, what would I be good for? But it's like, wait, he didn't even like state what a contradiction properly is. It's P, not P, bro. like if you know like any law like that's like that's like the most trivial shit in the fucking planet, bro. But yeah. I was listening in on Destiny stream, but I'm on. Actually, you know what? Yo, can you go to like YouTube stream because I want to keep watching that, but I premise and its negation for it. Yeah, like it was actually like it was actually like really embarrassing. I cannot believe he said that. That was crazy. But what was it? Fucking I forgot what I was talking about. Okay. How do you figure out what's real on the IP stuff? Oh, for this stream because the loner box debate I was watching on Stevens, but now that I'm streaming now, he's banned from Twitch, so I'm not allowed to stream his shit, bro. Bro, what DMs? I don't have a DM. Hero, what DM are you talking about, brother? I'm not seeing anything. Is it like old and I missed it? Oh shit! Oh, that was yesterday. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even see it. Yeah, I love. Yeah, I love Alex. He's a beautiful human. I love Alex genuinely. Oh, also today I did a okay. This is something that we on the left have to start doing, and it is canvassing at college campuses. Okay, I hate saying that because I think it's fucking weird. Okay, a materialist. I mean, I'm a physicalist. I'm a non-reductive physicalist, but oh, excuse me. When it does non-reductive physicalism necessitate materialism? I think it does, but like I are physicalists materialists because they're very similar, but yeah, proponents like yeah, they're often used interchangeably. Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I would probably I would identify as a materialist. I mean, assuming just like broadly the same commitments to physicalism, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna stop the stream on Twitch. Sorry, Twitch guys. Twitch guys. I had a fucking stroke there for a second. Okay. Let me know if things are still fine. It should still be good, but I just want to be safe in that department.
Do I believe that this is the case? I don't have like, checked? Like, how is this like so easily?
Are you saying that Saddam Hussein? What are you claiming that he didn't let journalists in to investigate in his country? Really? Good old Saddam.
That's right. We're watching a guy watch a guy.
Well, the problem is that they were independent researchers.
Explain
they
how
were
my
talking to, but the way they do this, the way that they
refills.
assess what was happening in these households.
What? These nuts. How my hairspray refills. I don't know. How do they get the toothpaste in the toothpaste dispenser? This seems kind of impossible, actually, if you think about it. And honestly, I've been looking into what the fuck is it? Necessitarianism. You don't get that? Explain how my hair. I don't. How my hairspray refill. What does that mean? What am I missing? Does my hairspray refill? Fuck you. What does this mean, bro? Bruh. Oh wait. Oh, let me go to. Okay. What am I? What happened?
It's from like a TikTok that said, "God refills my hairspray." So he's he's such a girl dad.
Okay, so good news. Because I'm not on Twitch, I can say this. That's fucking retarded. Jesus fucking Christ, bro. Stupid. Yeah, it's just stupid, bro. I hate you. Fun fact, every time I mute, I'm farting really freaking loudly, bro. Every time. Every time. Okay. Like, okay, wait. But necessitarianism, I think, is like the one true religion. Okay. If you're gonna hold to the PSR, I think that's gonna entail necessitarianism. Also can't find Wick stream. Yeah, I can't find it either. I don't think bro is streaming right now. So I think he's watching an old video or something. I don't know. Well,
So
actually, no.
easily that
There's a
any country
streamer
with,
that
like, significant
I don't know.
control
I
of
couldn't
their
find it either.
civilians,
That's why I'm
whether that be,
watching it.
Al-Qaeda or ISIS or Assad.
Because I would rather
so
not be
manipulated, so we should never listen
watching
to them
a
ever.
guy watching a
Yes!
debate.
That's why for a
Uh-huh.
lot of these countries, you don't know about all the
Significant control of their civilians, whether for the charity of human civilization, is able to be fooled so easily that any country with like significant control of their civilians, whether that be Al-Qaeda or ISIS or Assad, Saddam Hussein, all of them can just manipulate it. So we should just never listen to them ever.
Yes!
Oh,
That's
yeah,
why
yeah.
for a lot of these countries, you don't know about all the horrible crises that happen until after the regimes fall. Yes! This is actually the most normal thing on the planet. That it's incredibly difficult to get solid information about the fucked up shit that goes on in place until after the regime falls. Believe it or not, that's the most normal thing ever.
True.
They're completely useless, and like
I don't know. Like the thing is, like you're kind of
opposing conflict or saying, like I don't know how you judge anything then at that point.
You're kind of so you're jumping to a question that's obviously like I'm not saying I have an answer for why this happens, but the problem is I can't even get people to admit that there is a problem. I don't know how I can do this. I don't know how I can if I show you right now that Oxfam said 70% of the injuries and deaths were women and children, and then I show you the health ministry literally saying that's not the case. I can show you exactly the date where the UN stopped using those numbers 2 years ago, but Oxfam still feel like it's reasonable to use it like in the last month. Then the fact that I can show you right now,
if Hamas is saying that's not true, it's like, okay, well, this human rights org is not being manipulated by Hamas. They're literally going.
The funny thing is, and it's so fucking annoying, is that sometimes like some of these human rights orgs will make statements that like even Hamas won't make. Like Hamas is not shy about using human shields. Hamas is not shy about their citizens have an obligation to stay and defend and remain in areas to like they'll just say it. So like sometimes these international orgs they'll make arguments that like even Hamas isn't making about themselves. Like they would never use human shields. They're like, of course we do. What do you mean? All of our citizens are part of our jihad against fucking Israel or whatever. It's like, okay.
Like against them, sure. Like that would be evidence that they're using it poorly, sure. But like,
yeah, we can. If you want to have like a couple of hours struggle session of just going through all the examples of orgs doing this, I would happily do it. With so
maybe
far,
I'd have to do. I want to do a lot more research, but yeah, maybe.
And I can show you. I can show you every source, and you can say, well, here's what. Yeah.
I don't know
Let's set it up.
because
We're
there's the
gonna give you
live
a whole
chat on the
2
right.
weeks to prep for this, Soyful, because this is why I think this would be
Hold on
useful.
1 second.
Because all the time we come into these debates, we give you information or we get information from someone or from you, and no one it just dies it, right? It's left on the floor. No one changes their opinion. No one looks into
No,
things.
this
No
is
one
not the same
researches
one.
anything. No one looks for counterclaims. We just move on. And this is such, I guess, a recurring topic, right? That we constantly have to go over these same basic stuff. It
Every
might
time.
be helpful in a couple weeks, right?
Kinda
Maybe
weird.
you need more
Dude,
time
yeah,
to
I
research
can't find it
something.
anywhere.
To have like a redo where again, Loaderbox get
Wick.
a list of things that you think he should look into. Give
I
it to
posted stream
Soyfil.
today.
He can take the time to
Okay.
look into it. Then we can reconvene and have that conversation. What do you think?
I would have expected it on Wick's
You
channel,
want me to give
but it's
Soyfil
not
material to
there
read?
at all.
Yes.
I mean, he seems to know the reports, right?
Well, I mean, if you're,
I mean, if
Waterbox,
you're going to give me the, like, these are these
I can-
reasons I don't believe
yeah.
it's true, like, if you want to send it all to me and we can review it and go through it, that'd be great.
Yeah, I can help you really quickly. Like once you've read one or two of these reports, you've kind of read all of them because again, they're drawing from the same pool of information.
Yep.
So it's like, yeah, but if you want to look at issues of like, if you watch the way the discourse developed on how many aid trucks are required for Gazans to be above the humanitarian.
Look at the discourse on the 50 beheaded
yeah,
babies
I
thing. This was a
think
thing
this is
that was echoed by it was like a French reporter
If
or
you
something.
do think
And
that
I think the Israeli military spokespeople, they came out and they tried to correct that within like a few hours, I think. But everybody accuses Israel of spreading that meme and trying to get everybody to believe in the beheaded babies thing. And that,
No,
that
I
wasn't
don't
even
think it's
Israel
true.
that had initially spread that. It was apparently somebody heard a soldier say something about that. I don't know if it was the 40 number, but like it just like the Israel press was never pushing.
Yeah, I
It's
think
like,
they're around here or
everybody
something.
brings up that meme. Like 40 beheaded babies. Oh, so like 40 beheaded babies, right? And it's like that was never like a big Israel statement.
Threshold for aid. That's a
Okay,
really good
yeah,
question.
yeah, he is just
Babies,
watching
right? And
some.
it's like,
He's
that was
watching
never
it
like a
live.
big Israel statement.
Oh, was he at like 2 hours and fuck? What is that at? Maybe like 2 seconds. Yeah, good call. Thank you for finding that. I did not see that at all.
Never like a
Bruh.
big Israel statement.
All right, so almost 3 hours into it. All right, cool. Fuck, where'd it go? Here we go. About 3 hours in, so we're like right about. Wait, what? Am I stupid? Wait, what? Yeah, what? What? This one. Wait, APAC and anti-Semitism. Does the left have a problem? APAC and anti-Semitism. Does the left have a problem? Who posted this? Oh, okay. I see. I got it. Okay. It looks like they're about to end it anyway, but still, I think it's good to look at it, see what they talk about. Okay.
I'm not saying these reports are useless. Like there are reports that I've read that actually, and you're welcome to come on and tell me where I denied the body count. But okay.
Yeah, it's about the same content. Yeah. I mean, like, to be honest though, like with anti-Zionism, yeah, I had a stroke. Why not stream on TikTok? I'm thinking about starting to do that, but I'm not sure how I would do like the setup, in the sense of like, yeah, I guess it's just a skill issue. I probably should stream on TikTok actually. But same content. I watched it today. It's a lot of pro clutching. Yeah, I fucking bet it is, bro. It's IP. Dude, like, IP debates are so fucking cancer. Yeah.
You like
Which
it,
one?
you
The
have- you
700,000
have my,
one or the 70,000 one?
talk in, jump backstage. I'll pull you in, and you can expose Lonerbox, Zogbox, right? As the Mossad agent that he is. Happy to have you.
I like boner locks the best. But
Lonerbox is
Can I add one thing though, just because I don't think I made
just
my
real
case
quick, and then
properly.
we're gonna shuffle you out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I gotta go also. I just wanted to scroll back two points. One is you should look into the UN as, if you look at the UN a little bit like the House of Representatives is a
Either the person you're talking to, we're not able to hear them. Oh, no, I'm not talking to anyone else right now.
lot of countries that are represented. A lot of countries share certain phases. There could be an imbalance in the way the voting works, but that's just inherent systemic bias. But whatever. My point was, when you talked about all the evidence of the claims, and the reason why I was saying that I think you're practicing in anti-Semitism, maybe not anti-Semitic, but practicing in it, is because you're using people's statements as evidence of a wider conspiracy, even if these are high-level people in the government. This is not official policy, and you don't have evidence relating to specific actions that are military actions, which is what would be required. And by ascribing, be required to even claim war crimes, which I actually do agree there are many. I just think that jump and that leap is what's anti-Semitic. I don't know. Maybe I'm not making my case. Sorry. Thank you.
I understand. I don't think that jump is insanely anti-Semitic if like the people in charge of dictating policy are saying genocidal things. I mean, if Donald Trump says like, here's the thing, Trump's Muslim ban was not a ban on Muslims. but he said he wanted to ban all Muslims. His intent was an incredibly Islamophobic thing. And then he does something that's like, okay, if I look at this on paper, he has done nothing to specifically ban Muslims. He's even banned countries that are not predominantly Muslim. Is he Islamophobic? And the answer is fucking yes. I looked at his statements. That was the intent, and this is what he could get done. I don't think it's anti-Semitic to jump from, okay, this is their stated intent, and this is how they're implementing it, and say this is probably related. But you do have to draw that connection. You have to show that it's, trying to accomplish what they're saying they're trying to accomplish if their statements are to be taken at face value. But I don't think the jump is necessarily anti-Semitic.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yep, bye-bye.
Take care.
Okay, gang. If Lycan's not...
Like... with... Actually, let me just listen to the thing, because the problem is I don't know enough. In fact, literally the... one of the biggest reasons why I want to talk to Steven is because I'm like, dude, how the fuck do you learn what is real? Because there's so much insane shit. Like, I have no idea how to ascertain the facts behind these things. So, like, are the humanitarian organizations reporting things accurately? Are they not? To what degree are they able to get accurate information? I don't know. Obviously, Hamas has strong reason to, put out a bunch of bullshit because, like, I mean, they're irrational actors. Israel obviously has incentives to, if they can get away with something, like if they do a bad thing and they can get away with it intentionally or not, I mean, obviously there would be incentive for them to try to do that. So, yeah, I guess the thing is I have no idea how to ascertain what's actually real.
I think we're done. I'm done. Gang, if you enjoyed this chat, if you enjoyed...
All right, and that's that. Oh my god. I really want to watch that video. I'm going to watch that video. I'm absolutely going to do it. What is this? This looks good. I love brain rot, bro. Even if it's fallible, it's more credible than the nation state perpetuating it. Possibly. I don't know if that's true. And that also presupposes that, like, when we say perpetuating, a lot of times the word perpetuate has a negative connotation, and that presupposes that Israel is lying about a substantial number of things. I don't know if they are, so that's why I want to get clarification on, yo, what the fuck is real? Is Israel real? There we go. Who has more incentive to lie? Yeah, not the third-party systems, or the third-party organizations. But then the question becomes: is the data that the third-party organizations able to collect, is that reflective of, like, or is it accurate? Because I don't know, because they're cut off from a lot of shit. Because it's, well, I don't know how much of the war is still going on, but, like, considering almost all of Gaza's been flattened, but still. Which ones? Because there are people who have said insane shit, but I think I've only heard, like, one really, like, if you can link me some stuff from people who are, like, high command in the IDF, then I could be, I can be swayed, but, like, I haven't seen it, so. But yeah, John needs to get fucking humbled, bro. He needs to get humbled, like, really bad. Okay, I'm gonna pick up on the Shabos Kessenbaum shit. Oh, that's another thing too, because I need, like, I need to learn about, like, some of the fuck shit that Israel's doing. Particularly, I believe it's gonna be with the West Bank settlements. Peep stream chat. I got you. I'm scared. What am I about to look at, bro? Remember, it's got to be from someone who currently holds high rank. Well, I'm president and might. Okay, so this is right after October 7th, right here. It's our Holy Bible, and we do remember we are fighting. We have brave troops. What should I read specifically? Complete season Gaja, no food, no water, no fuel. Everything is closed. We're fighting human animals, and we're acting accordingly. They could say that they're attributing that to Hamas, which I don't think would be unreasonable, considering, again, this is right after October 7th. Release all restraints. Israel is moving with a full-scale response, and remove the restriction on Israeli forces. We're fighting against human animals, which, again, still... This is the ISIS of Gaza, which accurate. This is what we're fighting against. Gaza won't return to what it was before. We'll eliminate everything. Okay, that's pretty bad. If it doesn't take one day, it will take a week. If it takes weeks or even months, we reach all places. There's no way that our brothers will be killed. Minister of Defense. Yeah. Is that Hamas needs also those who sing, those who support, and those who distribute candy. All these are terrorists and must be eliminated. That's bad. Yeah, that's like really bad. Is this like for real? That's like really bad. Okay. It seems translated quotations often alongside Hebrew originals and source links argues relevant to proving genocidal intent. It's not a court judgment. What it contains statements by these people. Citations point to a mix of primary sources. Many prime examples are traceable to identity or wildly, but is it neutral? Is it Palestinian here? Sure, fine. Automatically authoritative. No, translated in PDF here means translate for compilation as a certified from independent court translator. Command a great deal. No, genocide requires prohibited acts plus a special intent to destroy. Well, obviously they're talking about the intent back here, where it can be powerful evidence, particularly from officials, but legal attribution and relationship between words and conduct must still be established. Established state policy, correct. Legal significance. Okay. But yeah, that's where to go. Right here. Yeah, that's like really bad right there. That's like super duper bad. Minister of Nationals. Oh yeah, Ben Gvir. How do you say it? Ben Veer? I think it's Ben Veer's his name. Bring a solution that encourages the migration of Gaza residents. We must advance it. It's not sufficient plus law. I don't know what it is. Yeah. Opportunity to coordinate an immigration project. A project to encourage the migration of Gaza residents to countries around the world. Unmistakably, we have partners across the globe that we can work with. There are people around the world whom we can promote this idea. Encouraging the migration of Gaza residents will allow us to return home to the residents surrounding the area. Yeah, so that's obviously ethnic cleansing intent. We can't withdraw any terrorists from Not only do I not rule out Jewish settlement there, I believe it's also an important thing. Ben Gvir. Really appreciate the United States of America. With all due respect, we are not another star on the American flag. The United States is our best friend, but first of all, we will do what's best for the state of Israel. The migration of hundreds of thousands of Gaza will allow residents to envelop and return home and live in... I hate this thing of like, oh, it was our land like 2,000 years ago. It's like, bro, look, like... yeah, like, I know, this whole like... It's stupid. Humanitarian aid to Gaza, no electrical switch. We turned on no water, hydrant will be open, no field truck will enter. Minister of Energy and Infrastructure, that's not an IDF. Yeah, this right here is crazy. That first one right there. I claim this started 3,000 years ago from... Dude, I fucking... Gotta hate religion, bro. Our hero trips, they have the supreme main goal to completely defeat the murderous enemy. Yep, never again is now. Yeah. Okay, I'm going back down to where was it before? I think there are 2 million people who get up every morning and want to destroy, rape, and kill us. Yikes. Minister of Finance, don't care. Minister of Agriculture, don't care. Deputy Speaker, Member of Foreign Affairs and Security Committee. Now we have one common goal, erasing the Gaza Strip from the face of the earth. Those who are unable will be replaced. Yikes. Like, one thing too, like, okay. When shit happens, like, literally the day of October 7th, I'm gonna say this. I'm not gonna hold it against people for saying some fucked shit, okay? Like, I think over 1,000 Israelis died. How many died on October 7th? 1,200, I think. Yeah, 1,200, yeah. So, like, them saying some fuck shit immediately, like during it or like right after, like, I'm not gonna hold that against people for that. This is literally on October 7th, so I'm not gonna worry about that one. Israel's no interest in Gaza Strip being rehabilitated. And this is an important point that needs to be made clear to the Americans. Reserve Major General, former head and advisor to the defense minister. Water comes from the wells with salt water, unfit for consumption. They have water treatment plants. Israel should hit those plants when the entire world says we have gone insane. And this is a humanitarian disaster. We will say it's a means. Damn. Be careful and fish them off. Don't leave anyone behind. Very reservist and better. Oh, well, yeah, if he's a... Yeah, no, there's absolutely, like, individuals in the IDF who have genocidal intent. Like, that's pretty obvious. But it's a question of, does the state, like, what's the state's goal? And the state is obviously going to be reflective of the people in the highest chain of command. Poor one of Gaza quote. Poor woman of Gaza. Oh, who are the... it was right there. Yeah. Poor. Right here. Excuse me. Who says this? Okay, former head of the Israeli National Security Council. Oh, right here. Okay, so... I'll say relevant. Excuse me. The other and more correct narrative is as follows. Israel is not fighting a terrorist organization, but against the state of Gaza. I mean, like, yeah, the state of Gaza is Hamas, which is a terrorist organization. That's weird. Who are the poor women of Gaza? They're all the mothers, sisters, wives of Hamas murderers. They're all. That's a pretty bad statement. On one hand, they're part of the infrastructure that supports the organization. On the other hand, if they experience a humanitarian disaster, then it can be assumed that some of Hamas fighters and more junior commanders will begin to understand that war is futile. The international community warns us of a humanitarian disaster in Gaza and of the severe epidemics. We must not shy away from this, as difficult as that may be. After all, severe epidemics in the south of the Gaza Strip will bring victory closer. It is precisely its civil collapse that will bring the end of the war closer. Oof. Yikes. This phase it treats a lead sheet, not a final authority. Yeah, that's bad. Yeah, clearly. Yeah, some of them definitely are. Retired major. When was he doing his shit? Oh, he's not even in the fucking IDF anymore, bro. Yeah, he's not in the IDF anymore. It looks like yeah, he finished like 20 years before October 7th. So, an advisor? Well, that's his service years. Hold on, wait. Advisor. Defense. Ministry. It says that he's an advisor. I mean, like, what I'm trying to make very clear is bad, but just because he's an advisor doesn't mean that, like, I mean, he can have influence, but he doesn't represent the state of Israel. Let's go back to the poor woman quote. Yes. There we go. Who are the poor women? Oh yeah, it's this guy. Yeah, so he's not the state of Israel. We're gonna want from Netanyahu and I think Ben Gvir. Does Ben Gvir give orders relating to the Gaza war? Because I think when I looked at him, was it yesterday or the day before? Yeah, he doesn't have authority in the IDF. Because I think he's like the Kash Patel, or what was it? Christy Nome. Yeah, the Christy Nome of Israel. Yeah, the police, prison service, border police. Yeah, he's like their Christy Nome. So he doesn't have influence in the Gaza war. So you gotta find me shit from Netanyahu or like some other high-ranking person who commands the IDF. Are there other Israeli organizations other than the IDF that are actively fighting Hamas in combat? Because you've got the IDF, and I don't know. Israel may participate intelligence raids targeting, but yeah, I'm talking about like Israel. Okay, domestic security, counterterrorism, develops intelligence. Can accompany, yeah. He's speaking to soldiers as sanctioned. Ezra Yachin, what's his position? Ezra. Be triumphant and well, yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like this guy, like I think there's obviously people in the IDF who have genocidal intent, but that doesn't necessitate the state of Israel. Like he's just a reservist and veteran. He's a crazy fucking guy, you know. Well, I shouldn't say a crazy guy because this is right after October 7th, and again, I want to make it clear, like I think it is reasonable for a person to like say some crazy fucking shit after being the victim of like the world's largest like terrorist attack ever. Okay, now does it mean it's good to do that? No, but what I'm saying is I get it, to at least some degree, after like October 7th. So, but even then though, this guy is not like he. Let me look him up. I don't know if he has like a bigger role. No, he's just a soldier, bro. He's an old fucking soldier. Yeah, he's a boomer, bro. Like, who is this guy? Are there any other quotes that you know of? Yeah. Can you go into the waiting room, please? And I can pull you in. My dude.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, first off, the very first quote from BB, I think, is like bad enough to prove, at least some liminal level of genocidal intent, right? Remember what they did in Amalek.
Yeah. Oh, where they killed like literally everyone, I think.
The direct command, like from God for the nation of Amalek was leave none of them alive, kill man and woman, infant and child, cattle and sheep.
True. Oh, yeah. Yeah. The Malachite fucking slaughter.
Yeah. So I mean, plus I think like just to be clear, I think that like while they obviously don't have direct command over the IDF, these other like people that are mentioned in this list obviously hold, some level of influence to Benjamin Netanyahu, right? Which is why they have their positions.
Confronting
Like
absolute evil.
I mean, if Donald Trump, right, was let's say he was like committing genocide in Iran, right? And then the Minister of Finance is, talking about how everyone in Iran needs to die. They all need to die today. They need to die tomorrow. They need to die forever,
Yeah.
right? And then, someone like brings it up like, hey, this is their cabinet member. They obviously have undue influence. I think that that's like pretty sufficient to say that at the very least they're open to, if not actively engaging in the rhetoric within the governmental structure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, like, I mean, I understand the want to dismiss the quote as like, well, they
Yeah.
don't have any actual authority over it. But like, again, if it was one of Trump's cabinet members saying this, with the information we have about the unannounced attacks, civilian infrastructure, et cetera, then I mean, I don't know about you, but I'd say that's sufficient to say that Benjamin Netanyahu is at least complicit in it.
You must remember what Amalek has done to you. And we remember, and we do remember, and we are fighting. And we do remember, and we are fighting. Our brave troop. What did the Amalekites do to the... I know the...
I don't remember exactly. I just thought that they were like gravely immoral. They were doing like bestiality.
Yeah. I can see
What did
visualize.
Amalek?
Currently facing the main body of armed guards, they target the exhausted... Okay, oh yeah, so the Amalekites just tried to kill the Jews.
Oh wait,
Wait,
then yeah, this is wait. Then let's think of like the direct correlation here. When was this statement made?
he made that statement on October 28th.
October 28th. Okay.
Yeah.
And Amalek launched an unprovoked surprise attack on vulnerable Israelites at Rephidim shortly after their exodus from Egypt, right? And
Mhm.
then the response is to kill them all, right? Men and women, infant and child, cattle and sheep.
But okay, wait. Okay. So he says, "Remember what Amalek did to you," and I think there's like a reasonable it's reasonable to say that. Now, if he were to say, "We need to do to them like what we did to the Amalekites," then yeah. But he's saying, "Remember what Amalek has done to you," which I would
Well,
say
I
is
mean,
actually pretty
wait,
like,
wait,
or at least like
wait.
relatively analogous.
Like, okay, let's say that I grant that it is like a relatively like analogous case, right? What was the correct response to that?
The response? Well, he's not talking about the response.
Wait. Okay.
When he references
But
Amalek, he just says,
maybe I
"Remember what
can
Amalek did to you."
let me be a little bit more clear, maybe. Uh, what was the response from the Israeli soldiers, right, after what Amalek did?
I mean, obviously the Amalekites got slaughtered, but like the idea that when we're talking about there's a difference between what we do to Amalek and what Amalek has done to us. And he's referencing
I'm
what
not
Amalek
saying.
did to them. Like,
I mean, I'm gonna be so. I think that this is like the like absolute best faith interpretation. Because I think it reads easier, like as remember what like. I mean, I feel like we've heard this sort of like rhetoric before, right? Remember what they did to you. Like for example, defending like what we did in the Middle East, right? Remember 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think this sort of rhetoric, right, especially when invoking this biblical literature, obviously implying some sort of like proportional response. And the proportional response to the literature that he's citing is genocide.
All right. I gotta get ready and hop up. I'm joining Steven's stream in a second, or at least wait. Give me 1 second.
That's another thing we need to talk about. Why join Steven's stream?
Why what?
Why join Steven's stream?
Why not?
I'm a Destiny hater. I'm a Destiny hater. It's a separate issue, but
Oh, why?
a sex destiny. I think that there's plenty of valid reasons to not associate with them. The excuse me, the doxing, the just general sex pestery, right? The revenge corn, like.
Okay. I'll talk with you a little after this, and we can go through it. But I've got to go ahead and dip out. But no, I'll talk to you later, man.
I got you. This is Ethan.
Yep, later. All right, I should be hopping in just like a second. Stream disagreements. Journal discussion. Stream disagreements. Special voice. Stream voice. Okay. Oh, here we go. There we go. All right.
Hello,
Think I'm in?
Ethan. What's up?
Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Introduce yourself. This is Ethan. He's
Yeah.
been at some of the Unfuck America events. He's been on. I'm pretty sure you've been on my stream before. And you do you do TikTok stuff or just Instagram real stuff?
Yeah, both. I'm active in like the TikTok debate space, as well as like doing a bunch of like short form content. And I'm trying to get, I guess, like some clarification on some things that are going to be really necessary for trying to like churn out all the DSA college kids, or at least like trying to guide them in the correct direction.
Okay.
So with I guess like with all the college kids that I like interact with, I find that obviously when people are like in college, they're gonna have like these more radical beliefs, and then they tend to moderate out later. But for like socialism, right? There's like a million different definitions that we could have for it. It's like command like socialist economy where like the government like dictates like a planned economy or whatever. And then there's like market socialism. I need to understand what is like the best case scenario for like socialism, and then like what is the reason why that's like bad, so I can like argue with them on that.
Well, I mean, Jesus, it depends on. Are you talking about like arguing with like hardcore like theory read Marxists, or are you talking about arguing with just like college kids, or?
Ideally like people who actually know their shit. So like yeah, I would say just with people who would actually like know their shit.
I mean, if it's going to be like a really hardcore person, I don't know if I have all the prerequisite knowledge to like debate like an actual theory read person. The strongest case for socialism is just that basically there's like a very real divide in terms of power between capital owners and between laborers, and that chasm will never be adequately addressed by any kind of redistributive efforts from the government. So the only way to like actually do anything about that imbalance of power is to have a different economic mode that naturally redistributes power from the capital owners to the laborers.
Right.
So like obviously if everybody owns the means of production, then the capital is owned by the workers themselves, so they're capable of, you know, like that divide in power doesn't exist then. Yeah.
Yeah, in like a socialist system. But when like I think like most people, like I've got a sibling and they say that like, oh well, like it just sounds like workplace democracy, and I guess like I need to figure like how to push back on that a little harder. I mean like a lot of times what I'll say is like I mean I support like liberal democracy and everything, you know, for our government, but with the fact that like the United States is in the current situation it's in right now, it's like, man, I don't know if I want to have like democracy in like quote unquote like the workplace or whatever, since we're struggling enough with having it in the government, which of course I still support, but all I'm saying is it's more complicated than that. Like, what do you think would be, I guess, like, how would you push back on that?
I mean, I just don't think it's a very good system. It just doesn't seem to work very well. The problem is when you start to get to like the edges of what you're actually saying, you kind of have to like. There are basic questions that I find one they're never asked, but then when they're asked, I don't really know how they answer them with satisfactory. Like, you can never hire an employee again. Like that's unethical. There are no more hiring employees. They have to buy shares into the company because it would all be cooperatively owned.
Right.
So like if anybody wants to start a business now, they can't do that on their own. They have to find other people who are bought into the concept, who want to have shares of said company and then be an owner laborer with you. So like firing and hiring gets very complicated in that way. And I've never heard like a satisfying answer to how that would ever be taken care of in like an actual socialist system. You probably need some form of central government telling you like which businesses are like allowed to start and which ones are forbidden, because now you have to like, you might have to get people to decide like, what if nobody wants to make like the fossil fuel collective, right? Well, I mean,
Yeah.
like you probably need some people to do whatever. So, but I mean, most socialists will say there's going to be different forms of or there's going to be different amounts of compensation in any of these systems. Like it's not like they're going to say, you know, just because you live in a socialist system doesn't mean everybody has to make the same amount of money, which is true. That's not necessarily a part of that. But yeah, I don't know. Just the problem is just that like it's a nice idea. It just doesn't seem to work anywhere. Like there's just no example of this of it working anywhere. I don't know how else to say that. It's kind of mean, but yeah.
No, there's one example that I've heard a few times. It's like I think like some I don't know what the fuck it is that is, but it's like some company in India, I believe. I don't know. It's been thrown at me a few times, but it's like okay, like maybe you've got like one, but like broadly, it doesn't seem to be an efficient system. So
yeah, no, actually, I would say, and there's more complicated arguments again for why I'm not being a hypocrite here, but I would say that like the strange thing is that anytime you can find an example of one of these things working, like I would argue that they trade with and they're able to work because of like capitalist systems and structures that exist around them that they're able to trade with. And the nice thing about a capitalist economy is that in a capitalist liberal economy, if people want to do the socialism thing, if they want to have like cooperatively owned businesses, like they're free to do that. But in a socialist economy, you're literally forbidden. You can't. Capital owners would be banned. They're not allowed to start businesses, which is a little bit.
Yeah, it's
weird,
that's a little cringe. Yeah.
But the problem is, but then like a socialist would counter and they'll say, okay, well, you might be able to have like the mode of production. It doesn't really matter for the socialist political program if it's the case that you can still have capital owners in society. Because sure, like some people can start co-ops, but the gulf of power between a capital owner and a laborer that owns a cooperatively owned business is still going to be huge. So the capital owner is still going to be able to wield a massive amount of power compared to an average person in society. So it wouldn't really address that, I guess. But my big thing is that like I just don't really think it just doesn't work. It's sad, but like it just doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't work. Like it'd be cool, like the idea of like what if everybody in society made the exact same wage, but we all still wanted to work like just as hard or whatever. I mean, like that'd be cool, I guess. Like here's the thing that I would say. People always say like socialism can do this and it alleviates these issues. And then my counter would always be like, you're talking about like an idealized form of socialism. Usually they'll say, well, no, or whatever, or, you know, well, who cares? Like we should always push for idealized things or whatever. But like an idealized form of any mode of production is going to be good. Like an idealized form of capitalism is you grow up, your parents make enough money to send you to school for you to get whatever job that you want. If there are jobs that people don't necessarily want to work in society, it actually doesn't matter because that means that the capital owners will just pay those employees so much more. And so it actually works out great. Like an idealized form of capitalism is also like really good. It just we have to live with the messy world of the reality of capitalism while they get to play in kind of the nirvana land of socialism since it's never really worked anywhere.
Yeah. Have you ever tried running the like the democracy thing that I just said before?
Like talking about democracy in the workplace, or what do you mean?
Yeah, yeah. So I've heard it a few times from not just my relative, but like oh, like I would just like think that like prima facie that democracy in the workplace is like a good thing, but then I push back and say like, bro, we can barely handle like government democracy, and you want to like put it in like the workplace, like through like you know like owning shares and shit. Like I don't know, it seems like way too complicated when most people can barely do like a local election.
I mean, if you want to have like strong unions or whatever to have some kind of democratic workplace participation, you can have that. Nobody's technically stopping you, but
Yeah.
but enforcing it or forcing people to do it, I don't know. It seems kind of. I just haven't seen that work. I feel like if I'd seen it work more, I'd be a little bit more warm to the idea. But
Okay. So like the second thing too, relating to like I guess like extremist shit, is relating to IP. I think you were watching like the thing between Lonerbox and Soy Pill a little bit ago. So like, okay, how do you learn like anything that is real relating to that? Because it feels like obviously Hamas has incentive to make up as much bullshit as possible since you know.
hold on. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. Do that again.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. You said IP. I thought you were talking about intellectual property and how that
Oh no.
works out there. Okay, sorry.
No,
Israel,
Israel
Palestine.
Palestine.
Okay.
Yeah, Israel Palestine.
Yeah.
So like how do you ascertain what's actually factual, because there's so much bullshit coming out and it feels like third party institutions are, it seems like they're not able to get like accurate data because they're reasonably limited in like how they're able to conduct operations in Gaza, you know, because of the ongoing war. And then Hamas obviously is going to put out bullshit, and then Israel seems like they've I don't know too much about like the validity of saying like Israel is lying about shit, but obviously Hamas is going to be a bad.
I would say that Israel rarely lies, but I would also say that the international orgs also like rarely lie. I think that the issue is the legal conclusions are usually suspect at best. They're usually really bad. But if you read the actual reports, the underlying data collection is generally like pretty solid. Or if there are huge limitations, like the limitations will be included in the reports. But then they just like I don't know. I feel like they draw really wacky legal conclusions out of it. But I mean, yeah. So I wish there was like a shorter thing, but you just kind of have to like be willing to read a whole bunch of fucking annoying shit in order to have like yeah. It's a lot of reading. I don't know if there's a shortcut to that. It's very fucking annoying, but yeah.
Okay, that's probably why literally everyone has like 5 IQ takes on it. I mean, I'll be transparent and say that like it's something I don't speak on because I just don't know enough about it. But like that's obviously better than, you know, saying shit and then LARPing like you do know a lot about it. So that's one way to approach it.
I mean, like I think what was the question, which is like how do you trust anything? Is that
yeah, like how do you ascertain what's actually real or like accurate data?
Okay, yeah, fuck. You just have to. It's just that's the thing that you just have to start reading. Yeah,
Okay.
and then eventually you'll get like a feel for it. But like if you read enough, you'll start to get you'll develop an intuitive sense of what's real or not, versus like yeah. But you just have to do it. Yeah, fuck. I don't know how else to explain it. You're a strong guy, right?
Mentally, physically, I hope both, but yeah.
Physically, you're a big dude. I'd see your fucking things, right? Like imagine some guy telling you that he can like bench press like 135, but he can also like do the 115 pound like chest press or whatever with dumbbells.
Yeah.
Like you immediately know that guy's lying. There's no shot that it would be that like your bench press would be way higher than 135, right?
Yeah, easy.
But like for stuff like that, like I imagine you have to be aware of like there's just like some background things that you have to know, and then if you don't, you have to like go and read like what's the conversion between this and that, and who do I trust between this and that, and what's the difference in this? Does this matter? And it's just like there's just like so much annoying shit. But if you start reading a bunch of stuff, you'll start to develop a more intuitive sense of like what's real and what's not real. But like I don't know how to shortcut that process. It's just very, very difficult, I guess. Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay, no, I got you. I remember talking to this one guy the other day. I think he said that like the civilian to combatant fatality rate in the Gaza war. I think it's like 1.2 civilians for like every combatant. But he was very much like on the Israeli side, which I wasn't disagreeing with him on pretty much anything really, because you know I'm not in a stance to disagree in terms of like my education, but like I don't know, it seems from like again, it's not something I've read up on obviously, but like 1.2 to 1 combatant to or civilian to combatant. I was like,
He's
does
saying
that
like of
sound
the
accurate?
80,000 killed, like 40,000 of them were combatants.
Yeah.
That sounds high to me. Like I would imagine it was more civilians to combatants killed. I don't know even who's reporting on the actual numbers right now.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would stress that my main frustration there is that we don't know because Hamas also just doesn't report it, which is very fucking annoying, right? It's not like they say you killed this many combatants and this many civilians. They just report everything as civilians or whatever. So it's like it's difficult to get like true information out there. But that's what my big frustration is. There's oftentimes Hamas is on the side of like conflating and confusing everything. So we can only go by basically what Israel reports and then try to work from there. And then maybe we can try to figure out like from the ages of people. We can try to figure out like who's a combatant or not, but like that's not always the best because people will count like children as like 17 and under,
Right, yeah, I've seen
especially
that.
in the Middle East. Like people can start fighting with AKs and shit at 12, depending on where you're at, or younger. So it's like is a 17-year-old, you know, who's a Hamas fighter, is that like a child in the same way that like a 6-year-old in a mother's arms or a 2-year-old in a mother's child? Like not really, but so yeah.
Okay. And like I guess for like the last thing, being in like these debate spaces. Oh, one thing I want to shout out to real quick. Something that I'm pretty well known for doing is going to like Turning Point events and dunking on like their chud speakers. They're all really bad at debating. It's like actually really embarrassing how bad they are.
That's why they brought in Andrew Wilson now to train them all, right?
Correct. Yes. Did you ever see the video where I debated the moderate case?
The moderate case, is that like the name of the guy?
That's the guy who I ended up embarrassing, like really, really bad. I was like, Trump is defending pedophiles, right? And yeah, that one.
Oh, I might have. I don't remember though. So my chat, I don't know if I watched on stream or not. But what
Okay.
about it?
It blew up on short form content, and it was. I mean, it's basically how I got to where I'm at now in terms of, I guess, like relevancy, at least in the short form platforms. Now I'm trying to do streaming and shit too, but regardless. After Turning Point's debaters got blown out, then they hired Andrew Wilson. Now I claim responsibility for that, but I think it's an interesting, you know, coincidence. Oh yeah, and some people like in Turning Point say like, oh, it wasn't me, but like, it's a weird correlation that their speakers get blown out, you know, like millions of people see it. It's really embarrassing for Turning Point, and then they go and hire someone who Charlie Kirk like literally fucking hated, and I mean it's Andrew Wilson, so but
Sure, yeah.
Did
you watch the Candace Owens debate that he did?
Not the whole thing, but I've seen enough,
Jesus.
man. Holy shit,
Not good.
that was really, really bad.
Yeah.
Do you think like overall that okay, so like the way I like, how do you like to analyze debates?
I mean, I can just look at it. However, it depends on however my people want me to look at it, I guess. Generally, I'm looking at it like who do I think had the better performance insofar as like a neutral observer.
But when you say a neutral observer, like, because I think there's like different ways to interpret that, right? Because you can like look better aesthetically, and then you can look better in terms of like substance. But you actually have to like know debate shit to know the substance.
When I'm evaluating from the neutral perspective, I'm literally exclusively thinking about aesthetic because I don't know if anybody. I would just go in assuming nobody knows the substance.
Okay, yeah, exactly. I mean, that's like literally all Turning Point is built off of, is just like the aesthetic of their debate. That's why Charlie was so good at all the shit that he did and his, you know, his fucking zingers and shit. But shit, sorry, I just had a brain fart. Why did we bring? Oh yeah, the Candace versus Andrew thing. In terms of substance, who do you think won that?
Oh my god, that's so hard. Like, I believe the official story.
Yeah.
But Andrew didn't know. He didn't know anything. He didn't even do like 2 seconds of research on anything. So he couldn't make any of the legal arguments at all, which is mind blowing to me. So I don't know. That's hard to say. When you ask me who won on substance, like I don't think Candace Owens presented a compelling case whatsoever, like at all. But I mean, I don't think that Andrew Wilson did a good job at countering anything she said. So I mean, yeah.
My
Just
source,
started
I
playing.
know a guy. Trust me. Like unironically.
Yeah,
is what
I have
it
an
boiled
anonymous
down
source
to.
inside of wherever. Like, if he would have known any law, there are just so many things that he could have countered that she said that were just so ridiculous. Like, you have anonymous sources that claim to have good information. Have you turned these over to the like prosecution or to the defense or whatever? Like, have you made any of these available to anybody else? Because it seems like you're sitting on a lot of like really valuable information that might come in handy for some of these people. But like, I don't know. She's just yeah, she's a fucking demon. But Andrew Wilson, I don't know if it was racism or sexism or just his general arrogance. He sometimes people look at people and they just assume that they're way dumber than they actually are just because they disagree with them on substance. Like Andrew Wilson is like a verbally adept guy. I would never go into a debate where I think he knows more on the substance than me and just think I could wing it. I would always assume he's a verbally adept guy. He'll probably crush me. So I'll take the time to learn it. But I think he really thought that Candace was just like some bimbo brain dead dipshit and then went in like and got crushed. I was saying, but, yeah.
Dog, there's this video. So something that Andrew Wilson does now is he goes on random TikToks or TikTok lives and knowledge caps a bunch of, you know, dumbass like far lefties,
Oh,
right?
they can't do prop logic or basic whatever bullshit. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the most annoying shit. Yeah.
Have you seen him go against like someone who actually is competent in like logic?
Once or twice, yeah. It's usually pretty embarrassing for him.
Dude.
I know there's one guy I watched, like I think he was in a car or something talking to him, but yeah, it was yeah.
There's an incredible video by a buddy of mine named Liam, and for those of you who know, then you fucking know, okay? But he holds to like the Ayn Rand like objectivism stuff, right? And Andrew, it was so fucking bad for him. I think he's got like 100K views. I don't know, but like if anyone wants to see like Andrew Wilson get humbled like really fucking bad, and you want to see like how little like this fucking idiot knows about anything, then yeah, it's a great video to look at. Just like look up like Andrew Wilson destroyed by objectivist or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And then I guess like the last thing, which kind of ties back into like why I was bringing this up. So it seems that like at least in TikTok, I think that like the trend for how debates are going to start going, at least in like how the right wing attacks people is, I think it's going to go towards like the Phil Bro like logic like debate style. Do you have like
I don't
any
think
knowledge
so.
on
I think like online maybe, but in the real world, I don't think anybody finds that very satisfactory. I feel like it just comes off as like very annoying, even if it's a person you agree with.
like because
I
I know
think, but that's kind of Andrew's. Like, has Andrew actually done any large debates? Like, I feel like that Candace one was way larger than. I feel like otherwise there's nobody these people online. Like, even if you're good at it, like nobody really wants to see somebody be like, oh, you said that's impossible, so I want you to demonstrate the contradiction then of the impossibility. Oh, when you say impossible, do you mean logically impossible? Then I need you to say why does this entail the? I need you to demonstrate the non-contradiction. It's like nobody actually wants. Like even when people think of like who were the old logic lord debaters, it wasn't like Ben Shapiro doing prop logic to college kids. It was him saying like, oh, if you think that Trump is racist, well then how do you explain Kamala Harris, you know, super predators and Hillary Clinton? Right? It's like, oh, he owned them, right? It's always like stuff like that. I don't think any of the super fucking philosophy debate bro stuff will ever like break into the mainstream. That would be my guess, in my estimation.
Now, I guess I should also clarify, because you're right in like, I think using that type of rhetoric, right, is unironically 5 IQ, because like you're gonna lose the whole fucking audience, right? But like when it comes to knowledge of that, I think that's going to be where things are going to differ. So like you should know these like really complicated ideas, but be able to communicate them in like simple methods, right? So for example, like knowing basic logic allows you to like make arguments in ways, or I'm sorry, let me rephrase what I'm trying to say. If you know how to structure arguments, and those arguments, all the premises are valid, you know like this basic stuff that most people don't know, truly, then obviously that puts you miles ahead of most people. And I think knowing some of this stuff is going to be important because people are going to challenge them who do know prop logic. And if they do know this stuff, I think they're ultimately going to end up looking better in some kind of way. Like, is that clear at all?
I mean, I kind of agree with you, I think, yeah.
Yeah, all I'm saying is, like, I think in the future we're going to see a lot more people engaging, like, this prop-style debate. Not necessarily, like, all the time, but, like, it's definitely going to happen a lot more. Do you have any ideas of like where like the future of, I don't know if I want to say debate specifically, but like I guess like how the right is gonna perpetuate their bullshit?
I think we're all waiting for the midterms to end and to see what MAGA looks like. Like we've been here for a couple of years. Who knows? Everybody's wondering if MAGA's going to end or if somebody's going to try to carry the flame or if it's
Yeah.
going to be like normal Republican politics again. I don't think anybody really knows. Yeah.
Dog, like the fucking like I mean like they just blundered everything with this admin and like on the left, like we literally just have to hold it over their feet until we fucking die one day. Like I mean that's what I plan on fucking doing. It's like,
Well,
oh
but
shit.
they're all gonna try to like disavow and distance themselves, like what Vance has been doing. They're like, oh, I didn't actually support that, or I had to go along with it, or I would blah blah blah. Like, and then everybody will forget because everybody does. That's how it goes.
Well, yeah, but then we can point out like, okay, how come you didn't do anything about it? Right.
How come we didn't do anything about what?
Not we, but like the people on the right, because you're right. That's obviously that's what they're gonna do for sure. But like, I think we've got
like,
a
how do you
strong
hold people?
edge.
I mean, I don't know. Like you have to ask them questions now, and then hopefully that's like on the record for the future, right? Like
Oh,
you ask
yeah.
them now, like, oh, do you support Donald Trump for this, or oh, do you think it's a good idea to do this, or oh, would this be too far for you? And then in the future you can point to the record. But like, I mean, I don't even know if any people care. These people are demons, so
Yeah, true. Do you think the DSA? I'm happy we're doing something to nip it at the bud in terms of like us being content creators. But how much of a threat do you think they are like right now? If you have like I don't know, just like a vague opinion.
I think they're a huge threat. But I think it's a combination of things. Like the biggest threat that the DSA poses is that they are demonstrating the like Democratic Party's inability to defend itself or represent itself. I think that's the biggest problem. So they're able to define what the Democrats are and what the Democrats aren't, and then they're able to fight us on those grounds. And then Republicans are able to use them to define what the Democrats are and what the Democrats aren't, and fight us on those grounds. So we're getting hit from both ends. So
Yeah.
I think the biggest threat the DSA poses is the Democratic Party's and then Democratic content creators' inability to kind of like push back against them. And then as they grow in power, the threat is going to be them being able to hold hostage certain votes that we would hope that we could bring the whole Democratic Party along on that they might not. So maybe something related to like public option type stuff or pharmaceutical type stuff that's not like as maximalist for them, or maybe stuff like supporting Ukraine. I don't know if they would ever hold anything hostage like that. But yeah, and then obviously there'd be total party takeover in the future. But the first thing right now is what I think the biggest annoyance is that the Democratic Party just seems unable to have like a battle of this is who we are and this is who we aren't, and like yeah.
Okay, yeah, I got you. Okay, that was everything I've got off the top of my head. Oh shit, wait. Okay, out of nowhere, abortion. Because and the reason I'm bringing this up, okay, is because like all I do is I debate, turning point fucking chuds, and like the number, like all they do is bitch about trans people and abortion, right? That's all they fucking do. So
All right.
it's one of the things I'm like most versed in. And I don't think I've seen you bring this up in debates, but I feel like the conjoined twin argument is like the pro-life defeater. Do you ever run that?
The conjoined twin argument, what the idea that you try to say that like life is created when there's a unique DNA or something, but like this has two sets of DNA or two different people have the same set of DNA, or that a conjoined twin represents one soul or two souls, or what?
Yeah, I mean, essentially, what you said second, right? Because they're positing, like life begins at conception. So, they're talking about the life of like, you could say like a human organism. And
I think I tried to run part of this with Lila, but I think she hand waved it and it was a bad format, so we didn't get to get too much into it. But yeah, I think because the first question you ask is like, okay, when does life start? When does God imbue that life with a soul? And they'll say like at the very moment of conception, and you can fight on what part of conception, because technically that's broken out to phases, obviously. But then
right.
if they say at the moment of conceptions, well, for monozygotic twins, obviously that's the division of monozygote of one zygote. So that means that did one soul split into two, or did God put an extra soul in there real quick, or what the fuck does that even mean? Yeah. I don't know what the actual answer is. What do they usually give as an answer for that?
For the conjoined twin problem?
Oh, I'm thinking of the twins thing. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I guess what do they give for the conjoined twin problem? Wait, restate the conjoined twin problem. I'm sorry. Do that.
Yeah. So the arguments that I've been in, they usually don't appeal to a soul because they try to keep things secular. But they'll say that you have a unique organism at conception, and I grant that. And with the conjoined twin problem, like from a pure biological standpoint, you actually when you have so the conjoined twin problem is like there's like a case of two people named Abby and Brittany Hensel, and they have one body and two heads. Say again?
They're like teachers or something, right?
Correct. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So from a pure biological perspective, they are like one organism, right? And like this is true for like all other things. Like there's like something called like a planaria. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but it's like a type of like flatworm or whatever. But you can like it's always classified as like two I'm sorry, like one organism. So
Is
it's
this one
like
of those worms where if you like cut it in half, it grows like 2 worms or something? Or am I making that up?
exactly.
It's not a real thing. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, that's it. So then they run into like this like obvious like counting problem, and like I've never heard a good response to this.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pro-choice, so yeah. I don't know what is. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
No,
What is the response to the twin thing? What do you think they would say to the twin thing? I feel like it's a similar-ish concept.
I think
Maybe
it's
not exactly.
better to do the conjoined one because you have like one organism, and then you have to say, okay, well, you have one organism. What's the thing that makes it two people? Unless they want to say, you know, the conjoined twins are one person, but like that obviously looks fucking crazy.
Does it? I feel like because I don't like using arguments like sometimes at like the edges of like things. Not to be mean to conjoined twins, but I'm sure that's like an exceptionally rare thing. But because they could just give and say it's one organism. Which I
Well,
guess
yeah,
that
it
would
is
be
one
normal.
organism, but like they're two people with two experiences. So
Well,
like
I
they
mean,
would have to.
I'm sorry. When I say organism, I'm sorry. I think they might just say, "Oh, it's just one person. They just have 2 heads." I guess I don't know. God made them very special.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that's I've never seen someone bite that bullet. Actually, no, I heard one person say it's one person with 2 personhoods, and I was like, "Dog, you're fucking insane! Like, what are you talking about?" Yeah, I think that's the best response that I've heard, but no one I've seen no one try to bite that bullet. So, yeah, I just want to talk about that in case you run into another fucking abortion debate. I found it to be very successful. In
Gotcha.
my
What do you think? What would their answer be to the twin one? I'm curious.
to the twin one.
Yeah, like how do you have a monozygotic twins? How do you do that and have them not be like what's going on there? I guess did God give 2 souls to one cell or something? Or
They would probably say that at the split, that they endowed the other one with a soul, and like which one had the soul, I don't fucking know, but
wouldn't that
2
be really
organisms,
weird
2
though? Because
souls.
now you're saying then that the soul wasn't given at the moment of conception, or that God can ensoul things after conception.
Yeah. Well, actually, not. So they would probably hold the stance that like whatever a human organism is necessarily going to be ensouled. So at the splitting, right, at the finished split, that's when like the soul is created. Now, which one has the soul? I don't fucking know. Like, is it one soul that splits into 2, so like 2 half souls? I don't fucking know. But yeah, I don't think they would give a satisfying answer for that for sure.
Huh. Well. Okay. Anything else?
Nope. That's it.
Are you finding anybody when you go out and do these debates? Is anybody like defending any of the Trump shit ever?
No.
One of my most frustrating things is I
No.
feel like it's like I don't know if it's not going to be until after the election season or whatever, but like there's no more debating things. Like nobody will actually defend anything from this admin. It's just so fucking indefensible.
Dog, like the only fucking people who do defend it are people on like they're like the host of their own platforms, and they'll
Sure,
just
sure.
like
They're obviously fucking crazy, yeah.
yeah, and they're just kind of like mod abuse, so there's not really much you can do. And the people who do join like other stream or other lives are like usually just trolling. Yeah, and others the well is dry. That's all I'm saying.
Sure, that's what it feels like, yeah. Okay.
Okay. So my socials or my handles, I guess. Yeah, my handles. I'm officially Ethan. I debate Turning Point Chuds, and if you wanna see some really great clips of them getting humiliated, yeah, you can find those on my page. But all my handles are I'm officially Ethan. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Nice. That's fun. Yo, Finch, are you still here? I'll get Twitch going again. Finch, if you're here, then we can go and chat about our thingy again. Okay, I guess not. Finch, come back. That's cool. Alright, oh well. Okay, let's get this puppy back up. You just bring it up to explain that creating an army of debaters, take on TPUSA. So, okay. Here's the thing, Scott. I thought about doing that. I got some news relating to that. Because I saw the message that you just put out. 1 second.
There you go.
Excuse me. Okay. 2 things. One, I've tried like the sessions where I've hosted, inviting people like, hey, we're gonna be training. Like people just don't go to those. And then 2, I've created the Epstein files, and those are out. But 3, I know that Turning Point intentionally is not defending Trump on like any shit. So they're effectively like running away from it. So and they are literally trained to say, hey, this is my prompt and I'm sticking to this fucking prompt. So if someone tries to like push them on other shit, they have to run away from it. That's something I've gotten notice of.
Gotcha.
I still think that like getting the Epstein file stuff out there is important, but like 1, like people just aren't doing it. And 2, the Turning Point people literally are trained to dodge, bro. So trying to pin them on that, it's gonna be like trying to shoot Neo from the Matrix. IP, conservative state as ideal socialist. Yeah, that was a good combo. I was happy to be up there.
Oh yeah.
Finch does not support Destiny, and I was hoping Finch would be here, but yeah, I'll chat with him. I guess when I can, but it is what it is.
Yep, definitely. If anything, I'm just gonna keep doing some networking, just promoting what you want to do in terms of like trying to train or teach people about debating over at TPUSA when they go to colleges. But other than that, I don't know if you saw in the chat, I did get a debate coach who is interested in also like partaking. He says like he could probably do like once every Friday for like an hour if anyone wants to hop on, and because he's an actual debate coach. He was a professor for philosophy, and then he also did his bar exam, I believe. So he's in the works of being a lawyer. But it's our buddy Ludo. I don't know if you've seen him around. I've been promoting his live stream.
Yeah, I saw. I've seen those.
So he said he's down to partake. I told him it's a little slow right now because not many people are on, but if it starts getting traction, then yeah, he's down to start doing some debate coaching and some mock debates.
Okay, I think what I want to do, I've been thinking about this, and I'd actually love your input. So on one hand, I think I want to do like just all my arguments like right here, right? So like have it all be in Project Lib and be like, hey, these are literally all my views. These are why I hold these views, and this is why they're fucking correct. Okay. Excuse me. Sorry. On the other hand, Turning Point knows I exist, and I don't have all of my arguments in Project Lib, but I know that they could read it and then get versed up on it, which I want to make it clear that like even if they get versed on my arguments are still gonna fucking win. Okay. But it's a question of how aesthetically can I like destroy them, because if they know the arguments I'm going to make and like I still win, right? Versus they have no idea what I'm hitting them with, right? That looks so much better because they're not ready for what I'm about to hit them with. So part of me is like, ooh, do I put it out there? Do I not? I don't know. What do you think?
Put it out there. I mean, yeah, put it out there. Like you said, even if they see it, try to come up with a response. Like I feel like you have that aura, that charisma, where like even when you're there debating them, you're gonna, pretty much, what's that word? Take them out, pretty much.
Mog. I love the word
mog. There you go.
I fucking love that word, bro. It's so fucking stupid, bro. I fucking love that word.
I'm a millennial, so I don't even know what mog means. I'm like, okay, cool, mog. Yeah, that's a thing.
A synonym. I had a dude. I'm having a stroke. Okay, a synonym for Mog is outclass. There, I'm getting speech
There you
Mog.
go. Okay.
I'm done, bro. I'm done. Did you see the combo I was having
Yeah.
with Finch?
Somewhat, yeah. I was in and out, but
Yeah.
I was listening. Yeah, it's interesting.
Fuck, bro.
Trying
Like,
to figure out.
because the more like I hear, like the more I am like on the pro-Israeli side. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like, obviously, like some of this shit like sounds fucking crazy, but one that's either crazy shit from people who are not what is it? People who are not relevant actors to which they shouldn't be included because they're not making important decisions on behalf of the state of Israel. Or two, the shit they are saying is like literally like right after October 7th, to which I like is the rhetoric bad? Of course, but like I'm not going to hold someone over the flames right after October 7th, you know, for saying some crazy shit. I'm not gonna hold that over someone, you know, like if I found like a dude like touched my fucking girl, bro. You bet your fucking ass I'm gonna say some crazy fucking shit, okay? I'm gonna kill you and your whole fucking family in Minecraft, you know, like, well, whatever, like, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't blame someone for saying some crazy shit.
Yeah.
This probably is the strongest evidence of, like, genocidal intent, but even then, though, like, I think that this can be, I think it's not strong enough. Because you remember what the Amalekites did to us, but that doesn't necessitate the response. Sorry.
Exactly. Yeah. No. I remember you guys are saying that quote. Yeah.
Well, renowned gods. Oh, actually, wait. Does he? I heard you say the supreme goal to completely defeat the murderous enemy. Yeah, I wish instead of saying the murderous enemy, he said Hamas instead. But
He did it on purpose.
Yeah.
He said it that way for a reason.
But yeah, that's just not. It should be enough, or it should be. That's not enough. Like one, and then it's also like literally what 4 weeks after October 7th.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but that's not enough to say that like they are going to kill all of, or like to have genocidal intent. Like, is it bad he said that? Yeah, I think it's. I mean, it looks like on its face, yeah, but then you read it and it's like, actually, is it? I don't know. Probably not. Yeah, what's up,
I like the... Oh, what's up?
Sorry, no, I was just talking to chat.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I do like that way of thinking because I have that same mentality. Like, well, yeah, is it extreme to the point where it could be called genocide? Possibly, but not. I mean, it's not the definition of genocide. So yeah, I would not. I tell people, yeah, it's not genocide, but what's happening is the worst. Like with the killings and all the, the October 7th and the rhetoric. But I mean, yeah, I wish you the best of luck because when's this debate again?
The debate. Oh, I've got that on Monday. I'm not debating on like IP with the Shabos Kestenbaum guy or where the fuck his name. I'm not debating him on that at all because I would again like probably largely agree with most of the shit that he says. Or at least I definitely wouldn't contest it because I don't know enough because I don't know what's fucking real. Okay, so that's why I wouldn't debate it. I'd be like, bro, there's so much fucking shit, bro. Like, I don't know. So
gotcha.
Yeah, that's that's what that would come down to essentially. It's just me being like, okay, you're just
I'm gonna take off because the wife keeps calling. We're heading to Vegas, so I'll catch you later, man.
Yo, wait, how long are you gonna be in Vegas for?
Till Monday.
Oh fuck, I'm flying in there on Monday, dude. Fuck. Wait, what time do you leave on Monday?
Like Monday morning because we're going Well, it's actually not Vegas. It's Laughlin. I just say Vegas to make it easier, but Laughlin. So I won't even be near Vegas. It's like an hour away from Vegas.
Sure. Fuck. Okay, I got you. You deceived
Yeah, we're
me.
gonna do
I hate you.
Japanese and.
I hate you.
There you go.
I love doing the
Alright.
bipolar thing. Okay, yeah, later, bro. Thanks for stopping by.
I'm getting there. All right, peace.
Yeah, I am like, if this is our strongest evidence of genocidal intent, it's not enough for me. Guys, wait, okay. So Yoav Galant, Minister of Defense. Let's look up this guy. That's a pretty good one. Informer military defense. When was he in office? Faction. Dude, he wasn't even in. He's not even. What? Does he have active command in the IDF? From 2022 until he was dismissed. Okay. Okay, wait. So 2022 to 2024. His government role was a civilian political official responsible for the defense ministry. Civilian oversight of the IDF. So what does that mean? Much more institutionally relevant to war policy than someone such as Ben Gavir, even though he was still not the officer who personally issued battlefield orders. What the fuck did he do? Does he command the IDF now? Okay, so wait, what? Then what the fuck? What did he do in relation to the Gaza war and Israel as a state? Didn't he give commands because he's a defense minister? Yeah, I was sent this compilation of like seemingly pretty fucked things that important Israeli officials have said, and I have to go through and validate each one, and every single one is either A, out of context, or B, is said by someone who is not relevant to the IDF and like anyone who's doing strikes against Gaza. So from 2022, he does not hold actually, I meant to say he have. Has been out of the ministerial office since, okay, his government role. Yeah. Was a civilian political official responsible for the and high-level defense policy and civilian oversight of the IDF. What does that mean? And someone such a, yeah. Oh shit, I'm dumb as fuck. Okay, while defense minister over the IDF and did make major war decisions, a civilian superior, not a field commander. The IDF is subordinate to the government. IDF chief of staff is subordinate to the defense minister. The cabinet government decides whether to enter war. Okay, so he could defense policy, mobilization. 2 days after he said a complete siege. Yep, he said some really bad shit. Policy cut. Yep. He also publicly described the war in sweeping terms. Human animal. Yep. It's broadly contested. Its legal and moral significance cannot be resolved merely from the quote. It was spoken by why it carries far. Later, Gallant press. He demanded Netanyahu declare Israel would not establish civilian or military rule there. Wait, okay. His public statement that he ordered the complete sieges direct evidence that he purported to direct that policy, and his office placed him above the military chief. The order on a battlefield. Okay. His role matters because he's not speaking privately. That's not by itself. Okay, so yeah, this guy. Okay, there's a strong argument against that. He was not serving, did not run the United Chain of Command. The government's in defense. Okay, so let me actually. Oh, why was he dismissed? That's what I want to look up. Why was he dismissed? Hamas was trying to commit a genocide. Yeah, no, I would say like, intent being something important when trying to claim something. Yeah, no, yeah, that's the entire defining component. So that Hamas is trying to commit a genocide. Yeah, I mean, I think it's reasonable to say that October 7th was a genocide. Like, I think it's very reasonable to say that was October 7th I'm pretty sure the answer to that should be yes. Genocide is a subject. Like, this is like obviously fucking true. Like, I don't understand how it wouldn't be a genocide, honestly. International law. Gender proof is very high, easily war crime or even, oh yeah, of course. Oh, it needs to be systematic? Does it have to be systematic? What? Genocidal intent, not that one commits certain acts with some other. I mean, yeah, they want to kill a bunch of Jews for the sake of killing a bunch of fucking Jews. Like, in part requires to be substantial. From the perspective of the organizers, there are lots of reasons who they didn't intend to destroy a substantial part. What do you mean? They killed like 1,200 fucking people. Like, I would say 1,200 people is a. I mean, like, well, is 9/11 a genocide? Is 9/11 a genocide? Is 9/11 a genocide? I don't know. Why not? To kill. Okay. Okay. Hold on. Are the exact qualifications for something to be a genocide? Person would argue that Hamas is intent being, yeah. Okay. Okay. So, oh, a protected. Okay. Well, yeah, obviously protected group. Okay, the convention does not expressly include political, social, blah 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 blah. Although persecution of such groups, perpetrator had specific intent. Yep. At least one was okay. Killing of members of the protected group. And the group is like people like a certain nationality. Trying to treat the targeted practice as needing to be substantial, quantitatively significant, qualitatively important, such as community leadership. Okay. Oh, that makes sense. Or essential to the group's survival in a particular area. Okay. Intended destruction also has to be physical or biological rather than merely cultural or political. Was not enough. Okay. War crimes or indiscriminate attacks. Aim is removal rather than physical. Okay. I think there's a really strong argument that October 7th was a genocide then. I mean, well, it's not. Well, actually, so just they had genocidal intent would mean they sought to achieve something that they knew they could not in that manner, which would be completely irrational. I mean, y'all went out there to kill 1,200 fucking Israelis, bro. Lower level perpetrators, you can imagine there could have been some who were intensely motivated by hatred. Yeah. Fear from prosecution. I also get that. Yeah. It's not about being lousy at perpetrating. It's about set destruction having zero chance. Yeah. Okay. I think there's a strong argument. But anyway, yep, I'm gonna get ready and go to bed. Because I wasn't supposed to be streaming today, but I wanted to talk with Steven and read a little bit of stuff. But okay. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. Y'all have a good night.